a first-generation immigrant, I actually had one of the more transforming events happen in my life at the end of July. And it was this trip to the Philippines with Mentors International, where their main thing is getting people out of extreme poverty. So like places like the Philippines, Ghana, Guatemala, all these places, countries that really needed our help. And not just the money aspect. And the more important part about mentoring in general is the time and effort and the education that you put in to transfer that knowledge, right? So that now they know how to fish. So this idea of give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. But I like, I think it was like Corey Lindley who said it. Like, it's like once you've known how to fish, now sell that extra fish, you'll have a fortune. And when you teach someone else how to teach, or when you teach someone else how to sell a fish, now you've built a legacy. So you can take it as far as you want it when it comes to that. So this trip, right, it was amazing. It was a group of, I think, 6 people from the US, and another diamond leader in doTERRA actually came with. And we were able to visit like the clients, those people that were taking out loans and taking advantage of the program that was there for them to help grow their business. And this picture right here, one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard. So at the very beginning, so the person I want to highlight is this woman right here. And do you see her husband right there? He actually became blind through a work accident that he had. And if you guys don't know, the situation for most families in third world countries like the Philippines is that the male is the main breadwinner, right? So when he lost his sight, now they had no way to make money. But this woman was like, I know how to sew. I can work in a sewing factory. So she decided to build up her skills and went into a factory setting to be able to do that. But what's powerful is this entrepreneur spirit that she had. So after she gained the skills, she actually took out what is equivalent to a $100 loan and built a business. And after like 5 or so years, that $100 turned into a residual income of $2,500 a month. Now hear this, employing 40 other seamstresses in her neighborhood, where she bought like the sewing machines and lent them out to mothers that wanted to sew in their home. So she basically created her own network marketing business through this process. Through the mentorship, through that process of, okay, this is how you build a business. This is how you help others in that same way. And their main driver of why they wanted to create a better life, why they wanted more money to be had in their family. Do you guys know one of the main reasons why they did that? Is through education. So that their kids could go to school and actually better themselves. Learn new skills, learn new concepts. And after one of the days where we actually met with the clients, this was even more powerful. That we were actually able to visit a school of 14 to 17-year-olds that now, instead of the parents telling them that this is why we're doing what we're doing, we want to send our kids to get this education, we heard from these children, these kids, how grateful and how thankful they were for the opportunity to be able to have an education. And isn't that a stark contrast with what we have here? That they get to go to school. They get to get an education instead of what's the typical saying? Like, Mom, I have to go to school? Like, I have to wake up? That to me was amazing. And what is making me so passionate about the whole aspect of mentorship, because now I can pass that on, not just to my children, but also pass it on to anyone that wants it, anyone that's open to learning the things that I've gone through. So again, going back to the definition, right? A mentor is an experienced and trusted advisor. And he said that you guys trusted me, right? Because I only tell you to do things that I've done myself. And that's the whole aspect of the whole idea of integrity, right, guys? Because would you listen to someone that says, hey, go teach this class, or go host this class, and you look at them and they're like, no classes, no activity, they're not talking to new people, right? Would you trust that person? Or it was like, oh, you should do mentoring calls, but they themselves aren't doing mentoring calls. And one of the best descriptions that I have when it comes to mentorship is really just being this bridge, right? This bridge from the unknown to the known, from darkness to light, from not having to abundance. And just to be that bridge by just showing them the way. Now, if you know me, if you've heard me on the masterminds, you've heard me in other realms, my main focus when it comes to like the main questions that I ask is the question why, right? So why mentor? Why would you want to even start in this process? Anyone? What was it? Duplication. What else? Grow your team. Inspire others. Personal growth. Relationships. Accountability. Paying it forward. Amazing, amazing reasons why. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this quote, is that purpose always comes before creation. So take a chair, for example, right? Did someone create a chair before they knew that they were supposed to sit on it? Be like, oh, guys, I made this chair. It's amazing. They're like, what's it for? I don't know. I just made a chair. Right? So we get this question often. It's like, man, how do you do that? How do you do this? Like, what are the steps? What do I need to do? Well, really, the most important question that you should be asking is why I should be doing this. Right? Because another quote that I love is, when the why is clear, the how will appear. I think it was like Simon Sinek or something that said that. He's another big why guy if you guys want to go into that process. So really, in this talk, in this idea of mentorship, I really want you guys to consider and join me in this journey of either being a mentor, if you feel like you have something to contribute, if you have something to, like that lady said, to be able to pay forward, or a mentee and you're eager and hungry to learn the process. You're eager and hungry to achieve a different level of success that you're currently not experiencing at the moment. So my mentor strategy is this. I have a question, and you have the answers. Because the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of the questions that you ask yourself and of others. So let me just ask you guys this. When you experience a bad thing that happens, maybe like no one showed up to your class, or you can't find any builders, what's the typical question that you ask yourself? What is it? What's wrong with me, right? It's like, why am I so bad at this? Right? It's like, man, I suck at building. Isn't that a typical story that we tell ourselves? Instead, changing that question to be, how can I improve? How can I find a way? Because if I can find a way to get through this, success is just going to blow up. What if your mentality is towards that aspect? So if you can sincerely and truthfully answer this one question, I am 100% sure, and I'll work with you until the cows come home. I can show you how to solve all your problems. And it's very simple. But before that, I'm gonna tell you a little story, a little nightmare that I used to have, right? So I'm on this flight, don't know where it's going, right? And I get up from my seat, and it's usually an emergency exit row, so like it was pretty easy to get up. And I walk into the cockpit, and I see this. Right? No pilot. And it's even worse than this, because this is the only picture I had. There were like no gadgets. There were no like instruments in the panel, nothing. It was blank. But the plane was flying. And I was like, who the heck is flying the plane? Where are we going? Right? And there's no instruments in the panel. So how do we know how high we are? How do we know like how much fuel we have? I don't even know which direction we're going. Right? So given that scenario, what do you think the chances are of one, that plane surviving safely, two, getting to where it needs to go? Any chances? Would you ride that plane? Would anyone ride that plane? You guys want to know something? Most people are riding that plane right now. They have no clue where they're going. There are no instruments that are telling them where they need to go. They have no direction in their life. And they're just walking like zombies, right? You ask them the question, it's like, hey, why do you do what you do? I don't know. This is how it's always been. I don't know any different. And since most of you guys wouldn't ride that plane, there'd be zero chance of it surviving and zero chance of it even like getting close to where it needs to go. I'm going to ask you guys to consider asking the question. And it's this question, the $1 million question. What do you value the most?